good to go. So these are 100 things which the successful people in the world, they keep on doing it and they keep on succeeding. If you look at the history line of all the successful people, they have some things in common. There's a particular poem which says that you can learn from the life of these rich people, because when they actually walk down the path, you can follow their footsteps and you can actually become good. So this is Nigel Cumberland, one of the coaches, and who has spent a lot of time coaching the corporate CEOs and leaders of the companies, and also many of the companies he has taught. And he interviewed a lot of people, talked to a lot of leaders and CEOs, and found out what are the things, the common things that all these rich and famous people do, the billionaires do. And he found out some of the things that we're going to discuss today. We'll be following approximately 20-25 points today, and these are very, very important. So if you look at what we did today with Sindhu ma'am, what we did, we just asked her to talk about her dream. The first thing that we ask you in MMTC 4% Club is, what is your dream? Because if you do not have a dream, what will you follow? Because in that case, it will be kind of a rudderless boat, a bus without a driver, which will not take you anywhere, right? A bus without direction, you do not know where you want to go. So you'll be tossing from one place to the other. So it's very important that people be having their dreams. Very, very important. The second thing, it's very important that people ask for help. Most of the times our ego comes in between. We don't want to appear foolish, we don't want to appear non-knowledgeable, unknowledgeable. I don't know whether that is a word, but yes, that is what differentiates a winner, because a winner will definitely try to find out a way, and he will not be ashamed of asking for help. If you look at MMDC, what we are asking you all to just get in touch with each other. Maybe somebody can help you, maybe Kavita can help you, maybe Jayashree can help you. It's just asking for a lending hand, and you will definitely get support, because we are trying to create a supportive community. And asking for help, your ego should not come in between, because when your ego comes in, a lot of things, many of the times, look at the way we have structured the feedback. We asked for some of you to give the feedbacks on the presentations made, but many of you thought that I'll be sounding like a fool. Maybe if I speak something odd over here, people will be laughing. But that is what should stop. That mind shattering should stop, because then you will be able to achieve your success. Just be okay admitting that it's okay that you are not the best, but you're just asking for help, and you're learning is very, very important. Then the third thing that this book talks about is the concept of creating your future. You have to create your future. Don't let future happen to you. Just take charge of your life, be responsible, take some steps in the right direction, and only then you will be able to create your future. If you just leave it on the teachers, if you leave it on the society, if you leave it on your boss, and you are just on the accepting side, things will not happen according to your plan. So you have seen a dream. It's time now that you keep on taking the action. Even if we talked about the billionaires, Sindhu talked about the billionaires, I guess, and she talked about the concept of the same thing, the same concept, that you have to take small actions, and you have to create your future. That is very important. To succeed in life, all these billionaires and all these top people, they use this principle of being emotionally intelligent. They are better connected with the emotional. They just don't use their IQ, they also use their heart. So it's a combination. Their decisions in their life is a combination of what their mind says and what their heart says. Because if you look at the entire human civilization, if you look at the society outside, the corporations, the companies outside, they are majorly people who are emotionally attached. They are emotion People are human beings, are more emotions, more of emotions, more of feelings, more of thoughts. So if you're just taking something which is logical, might not click with everybody, but if you talk emotionally, if you connect emotionally, then you will be successful in your life a lot more. Then this book talks about a unique concept which I found out. It asks you to be outstanding. It asks you to be standing out among the crowd. If you just be the normal person, average Joe, people will not be able to understand who you are. So it's very important to stand out from the crowd. So you have to do something. It's not about going against the crowd, but it's about finding out and doing your calling, finding out your calling and doing something which is against, which is something different, because that will differentiate who you are. If you're not doing that, people will not be able to find out what is your unique talent. So it's very important, do something which is opposite, do something which elevates you above the other members. Otherwise it's very difficult to find out who you are. So doing the opposite. Now it's also important, in this book they talk about the concept of turning work into play. See, work work is going to occupy a very huge chunk of your life. For 40 years, you'll be working for 12, 13, 14 hours, 40 years, right? So 40 years of your life will be spent, the major chunk will be spent on working. So if you have not converted your work into play, if you're not enjoying your work, if you are dragging yourself to the work in the morning, it is going to be a very painful experience. So your life will be full of stress, and you will not be enjoying and be happy in your life. Happiness is also what we talked about today. So these are very important concepts that the book talks about. In the first few points itself, it just hits the bull's eye on all these topics. Then it talks about the concept of starting each day very well. So starting, shows the end of the day. Beginning, well begun is half done, is what they say. So I over here have presented a particular snapshot from the 5 a.m. Club book by Robin Sharma, and it talks about dividing your first 60 minutes into pockets of 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes you should be spending on moving your body, because as soon as you get up, you have to get that get that lethargy away from your body. Very important, you move your body for the first 20 minutes. Then the second part is about reflecting. It's about meditation, it's about affirmations, it's about keeping your mind still, and thinking about what the future is going to be, what are your plans for the day. These are the things that you should be doing the next 20 minutes. And the next one is about reading something every morning. This is the power principle which many of the billionaires of the world are following. So starting your day well is a very, very prerequisite. It's a very important prerequisite for you to succeed in life. Next comes the concept of making friends with your past. We all have something or the other which was not right that has happened to us in the past. Many of the times, what happens, people are not focused on the present. There are many books which keeps on talking about the concept of the present being your present. It's kind of a gift. Your present, your present tense is your gift. But many of the people, they spend a lot of time on their past, reflecting on the past, and maybe crying about it, or maybe grieving about it, or maybe just uh, creating some negative emotions about it. Or maybe they spend a lot of time about the future, being anxious about the future of what's going to happen, being fearful of the future. So the right approach is that you should not be in the past, you should not be in the future, you should be in the present. And that is what is very important, which has been highlighted in this particular book. The next one is having to take breaks. It's very important. You don't get burnouts. You people generally in the corporate world, they keep on working for a very long time. They get desperate about their success, and they put in more hours. See, more hours are not required. You have to have a balanced particular approach towards life. And if you're not having a balanced approach, your brain will just give up. You will just you'll just freeze your brain. So it's very important to take occasional breaks, because that is how your brain works properly. So there is a concept of Pomodoro technique, which talks about working for 25 minutes and then taking 5 minutes break after every 25 minutes. And if you're working for 3 hours, take a bigger break of half an hour after 3 hours. So that these kind of techniques are very, very important. The best of the best researchers, the best of the best scientists, and the people who have done great accolades, they have just been taking this particular concept into action. They have been taking regular breaks. Very, very important if you want to sustain in the long term journey, because it might look okay if you're working non-stop for 5-10 years, but then your body will start giving up. Then various kinds of hypertension diseases, cholesterol and diabetes will start hitting your body. So very important, take regular breaks. It's okay if you take around 15 to 20 days every year out and reflect on what you want to do in your life. Are you going in the right direction? And maybe course correct your entire journey. Very, very important, take breaks. The next one is what we follow at MMDC, the 1% growth rule. So you have to keep on learning, be a student of life. It's not just about the formal education. The formal education has given you a lot of things. It has given you a degree, it has given you the certificates, but only that is not important. Sometimes life can teach you, sometimes your colleagues can teach you, sometimes society can teach you, sometimes the events in your life can teach you. So you have to be a student of life, and you have to keep on having that be hungry, be foolish particular mentality. Stay hungry, stay foolish mentality, and just keep on learning more and more, because you are evolving as a person. As you go through the journey of life, you are evolving as a person. Very, very important concept in this particular thing. Now the next concept that he talks about in his book is the trust trust your gut function. This is which is very, very important. If you look at the people, people have a sixth sense. Your gut is the second brain, which many of the authors and the researchers have talked about. Sometimes while taking a decision in your life, which is a critical, you are at a juncture where you have to choose either left or right. You have to choose right or wrong. You have to choose, A or B. In all such situations, sometimes don't just go for the logical particular answer. Trust your gut, trust your sixth sense. Sometimes your body will throw up signals, that is called a sixth sense, and that is your gut talking to you. Sometimes listen to your gut, because the gut knows it, what is the right direction to actually take in all such situations. Very, very important if you want to succeed in life. The next one is banish your stress. Stress is a killer. And in today's date, with the kind of information, with the kind of task, with the kind of difficult challenges that we are facing, with the kind of recession, with the kind of problems that all of us human beings are going through, it's very, very difficult for people to remove stress from their life. But then again, it becomes very important. If you want to succeed in life, you have to banish the stress. You have to keep on checking your stress meter. Where is it going? If it is going into the red zone, please try and make it into the green zone, because very, very important, this one can become for your success or for your failure. Another topic which requires very important particular attention is that you should be likable. You should be somebody people can connect to. It's only IQ is not important, only your EQ is not important. You should also be likable, because if you are the best person in the room, if you're the most intelligent person on the room, but still if people hate you, if you spread cancer, if you spread negativity, people will just hate you. So what is more important than having a greater IQ is that you be more likable to people. People will be able to connect with you better. People will be able to support you, and they will be going the extra mile for you if you are likable. So being likable is also one of the very important points. Now, there are two important points in this particular book which I really liked. One is saying yes. Many of the times we don't say yes to opportunities. We do not look at opportunities as something which will help us grow, which will help us achieve something more. And we say no to things some of the times. You should be, on the other hand, being open to possibilities and keep on saying yes to everything which can help you learn in life. So be a yes sayer in most of the times, but yes, you should also be saying no at times. This is a very important particular skill that most of the people do not have. And if you do not have this one skill of saying yet no more often than not, then what will happen is you'll be actually getting more of stress. You will not be able to enjoy your work. Some of the times you'll be overworking and you'll be overburdened by the work that is around you. So a right combination of saying yes, when to say yes, and when to say no, is very, very critical. And that is one topic which has been dealt in this particular book. Now, it's also important that you don't just work for your own particular life, your own particular individual goals. Volunteer your time for society also. Keep on thinking about the society, because that will make you contented. We are not just about the materialistic things in life. We should also be thinking about the planet. It's profit, planets, and people. So profits are important, but planet is also important, and the people around you is also important. So just try and volunteer your time. Don't take maybe out of the 40, 50, 60 hour week, maybe you can spare 2 hours for some kind of a charitable institution or some kind of a volunteer work, which can change the way you feel about yourself. You'll feel more comfortable, you'll feel more happy, you'll feel more contented. That is more important. Feeling contented, feeling at peace with the world, that you're doing something for the world, that you're not just living for your own life and you're for your own family, for your own goals. That should be removed. Now, it's also important, in this book they have raised the concept of locus of control. Some people are external, some people are internals, but what you should be focusing on, what you should be focusing on are things that matter to you and things which are in your control. Many of the times, many of the things in life are not under our control, but we can spend a lot of time thinking about it and maybe wasting our time. That should be avoided. According to this book, you should be focusing on only those things which you are able to control, and leave the other things to fate, to life. You should just be giving your best and forget the rest. That should be the principle. Focus on things which you can control. Now, very important is the concept of living within your means. One presentation Supriya gave right now was talking about living with saving your life, saving your income to a certain extent. It's very important that you live with it within your means. If you look at the billionaires, if you look at Elon Musk, if you look at not every one of the millionaires and the billionaires, they live a very a flamboyant life. They do not always live a very rich life. They live frugally. Warren Buffett has got a set of around 10 suits that he keeps on repeating for the last 10, 20, 30 years. If you look at Mark Zuckerberg, one of the richest man on the planet as of now, the top 10 definitely for sure, keeps on wearing the same t-shirt again and again, the same colored t-shirt. So it's just about living within your means, because that is very important for many of the successful people. You can eat only a little amount, because you should have a very little amount of minimalistic thought process on in terms of materialistic goals. That will keep you in insanity, and it will help you grow in life. The next one is live in the real world. Many people live in their own dreams. Many people live in their own virtual world. So you should come back to the real world, and you should try to address those problems, those challenges in your life, which are very, very important for your particular success. Now, the next part is you have to stay focused. Andrew Carnegie talked about this concept. He said that he was successful. He was the first kind of the billionaire of this world because he was able to focus on one problem for more than 10 minutes. He gave a challenge to the reporter who come and asked him for success. What was the success principle? And he said, the problem that people are not able to succeed in their life is because they're not focused. They keep on wandering from one problem to the other to the next one. So it's very important that we stay focused on one particular problem and keep on solving that problem before we move to the next problem. So staying focused will be one of the skills which is required by the successful principles. You should be able to love more. The world is full of negativity. The world is full of a lot of negative elements, but your purpose should be to love more. When you love this planet, when you love the people around you, that is when you will be able to attract more into your life. That is when the universe will be helping you and giving you more in terms of returns. That is what this book talks about. Then it talks about the concept of reinventing yourself. So you have to constantly, as we said, you should be a learner of life. So life will keep on teaching you some of the lessons, either formally or informally, or maybe some circumstances will happen. There is a concept of satori and sanshoi. So either you learn on your own, or if you are not able to learn, then in the case know what will happen, life will teach you a lesson. So you have to be ready to be reinventing yourself. Just like the caterpillar moves into becoming a butterfly, you also have to keep on reinventing yourself, because that is what life is all about. The questions of your life, just imagine the questions remains the same, but the answers keeps on changing. So at 20 years, if I had asked you what is the value of money, if at 30 years if I ask you what is the value of money, and if at 40 years if I ask you what is the value of money, your answers will keep on changing. So it's very important that you keep on reinventing yourself for your ultimate life objective, what you want to achieve by the terminal end of your life. Keep on reinventing, keep on learning more and more. Staying healthy is very important, you all know that, because if you want to stay in the game for a long time, you cannot be dependent, you cannot be having a half-hearted approach towards health. You have to be in your prime of health. In a healthy body lies a healthy mind, and with a healthy mind you can achieve the goals of your life, become success at your life. So very, very important, stay healthy. Then we have the concept of forgiving others. Many of the times we take that burden of not forgiving others, and we keep on carrying that burden on our shoulders for a very, very long time. It just kills us from within. The more, as someone talked in the meeting today, some of the presenters, they talked about it, the concept that the moment you think negatively about something, you have wasted your time, and it has added. And results have shown that sometimes if you're not able to forget the things that have happened to you, if you're not able, if you're keeping on stressing about that, stress can actually move into, transform into disease inside of your body if you do not remove that. So it's very, very important that things which have hurt you sometime in the past or in the present, just forgive them and move on in life. Just keep on growing in life. That's very, very important. So these were some 25 points that I have discussed. There are some amazing points left in this particular book. I'll be sharing the presentation with all of you in the next few hours. You'll be getting that particular presentation. But just look at the way these are some basic things which you have to change in life, but it can catapult your life into a different genre altogether, into a different level altogether. So I'm done with the presentation. Thank you so much. And I would like, Kavita to just come up for the vote of thanks. And if there is anything I have left, Kavita, just confirm your presence. And if there is
Definitely.
any doubt that people want to ask about this presentation, it's the right time. You can ask it right now.